මේක ඕකේ කරන්න ඕනද? Okay. We will let others join, and we'll start the proper meeting in next 10 minutes. Meanwhile, you have a chance to introduce yourself just by saying your name, your area of interest, and any other thing. In 3 sentences, please introduce yourself, and we'll allow this chance for first 10 people. Any volunteers, please start by introducing yourself.
Because if
Hi.
no one, I'm happy to go first. Yeah, my name is Damita,
Welcome. Yeah.
and I live in UK.
Okay.
But I'm come from a very different background. Actually, I'm working in cybersecurity, but I'm very interested in how the things work on the research papers, and because I'm interested on doing something in the future, that's the motive behind I am joining this forum.
Okay. Good. Next. Next. We need volunteers.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Dilanja.
Yeah. Hi everyone. I'm Dilanja. So basically, I live in Singapore. First thing, I thought of joining for this because recently I finished my master's, and then I thought of learning more on like urban development, as you have mentioned and all. Because my background also more into that. Because currently I'm in a team. We are doing a township management in Singapore. So
Okay.
it's like a pilot project.
That's
So
amazing.
I'm engaging in all like drains and whatever you are discussing. I think I'm involved. Yeah. So
Let me note down your name. Okay.
yeah, I think I messaged you also because I went through your videos on smart draining. So that's why I think I remember I asked you whether I can meet you on last December because I went, but you said you're based in Australia, right? Not Sri Lanka.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All good.
That's it.
Yeah, we'll meet.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for joining.
Okay, thank you.
Volunteers, hurry up.
I am Naduni and I live in Colombo now. So I love to do research and how to do research. I love to learn about researching.
Yep.
And I have motivated about your smart brains and all the achievements. So I love to join with you all for the better future of the Sri Lanka as well as the world.
Thank you. You're welcome. More volunteers.
I'll go next.
Yeah, hi, Adi.
I'm Adisha. I'm also living in UK. I just completed my master's and recently joined as an AI researcher in a university. So I yet haven't published any paper, but I'm willing to learn and improve my skills in researching and publishing. So my domain is AI and data science. I thought I could be help this water management system kind of things through AI. So I'm happy to engage with you all.
Nice.
Actually, I have learned a lot about Yuaki, specifically the drainage management system and every award you won recent past. Actually, you are like a role model to me. So that's why I joined.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have chance for 5 more volunteers. And we need to start the meeting by...
Hi, I'm Sandhu. I'm currently
Awesome.
living. Hi. I'm currently living in UK and I'm following my masters. These days, I'm working with interhuman immunoglobulin gene expression variations as my research
It is
progress.
massive. So what is your
Yeah,
name?
it's really about interhuman immunoglobulin gene expression variations. So
Okay.
it's a new area.
Okay.
So actually, I'm really interested in genetics and biotechnology, and I want to support environmental studies through genetics. That's why I joined this meeting. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next.
Hello.
Hi, Thilini.
Hi. I am Thilini Pratibhani. I am currently a PhD candidate at Henan University in China. My major is human geography and geospatial science, and I have a strong interest in urban environmental studies, which is begin during my undergraduate education. At that time, my subject was urbanization, urban development, sustainable development, hydrology, climatology, GIS, and remote sensing. In addition, I have 5-year experience at the Urban Development Authority, which has further strengthened my passion for urban environmental management and planning. Therefore, I am highly motivated to join this research group as closely aligned with my academic background and also my research interest. I am particularly interested in contributing my knowledge, my experience, and also improve my skills to better understand urban environmental challenges and also to support the sustainable solutions. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Kaushika Siranatha.
Hello.
I'm Kaushika Siranatha and I'm doing my PhD at Wambu University of Sri Lanka.
Yep.
Earlier I worked as a research consultant at International Water Management Institute, IMI.
Yeah.
And my study area is environmental economics and I'm specifically focusing on watershed management.
Yeah.
And I thought it will be a really good chance for me to get to know very talented and enthusiastic researchers and do things that are related to my study. So I'm happy to join. Thank
Thanks
you.
for joining. Next. We'll do 2 more introductions, then start the formal meeting.
Hi,
Okay.
hope you can hear
Hi.
me, right?
Yeah.
I'm Vimansi Jayavira and I'm currently working as an assistant lecturer and I'm a graduate, I'm currently serving graduate from KDU and I have already published several research papers regarding sustainable construction and the digital technology as well as the lean construction. And I'm interested in exploring the urban development as well. So that's why I have joined to this session. So yeah, I look forward to learning and contributing to this discussion. Thank you.
Thanks for joining. Okay, one last introduction.
I am Iswini Bani. Sorry.
What happened?
Hello.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Now we can hear you. Yes.
Okay. I'm Marsha. Hello.
Yes, Marsha.
So I'm from biological science background,
Yeah.
and I have published my research recently.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working as a chemist at a leading cosmetic company.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, so I'm from Colombo, and actually I'm highly motivated to join with your team, and I wanted to improve my knowledge regarding those areas. So that's why I want to join with you.
Thank you. Okay, let's start our proper meeting. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Urban Living Lab. We call this space Urban Living Lab. So we started this group some time ago, 2 months ago, and we are currently working on several technical papers. We have around 20 members so far from diverse background and with a wide range of research interests. We meet every Friday, 7 p.m. Colombo time to discuss and review and support each other's work. This is the first time we have opened our discussion to the public, so you all are very welcome again. Today, we have 3 presenters ready to share their research work and their research journey so far. One is Manoja, then Vindula will present his work, and Susani. We will invite them to present their work, and you may ask questions at any time by raising your hand virtually. Use the raising hand emoji. We will also allow 10 to 15 minutes Q&A time after each presentation. In addition, you can post your research related or study related questions in a Google document link shared in the chat box. I shared that link chat box right now. Yeah, we will respond to them, your questions after this meeting, or let the researchers contact you directly through email. This is a free space created to build a research culture. So that is very important. So this space is yours. You are welcome to use it by asking questions, commenting, or contributing intellectually to any of the work. And you may also bring your work, and we will support you in any way we can. We will share the meeting minutes and meeting recordings with you. We will email them, and please communicate through the original email thread. Right? Now, let me invite Manoja to the floor, to open the floor. Manoja is a third-year PhD candidate at Queensland University of Technology, and today she will present us an outline of her doctoral research work. Welcome, Manoja.
Thank you so much, Nadeshaka. Let me share my screen. everyone see my screen?
Yeah, Mana, it is visible.
Then, am I audible to everyone?
Yes, you are.
Yes, Mona.
Then, good evening, everyone here in Australia, and warm greetings to our big team in Sri Lanka and to all joining from elsewhere. My name is Manoja Gamage. I see myself through many important roles in life as a mom, wife, daughter, friend, researcher, and now I'm a PhD candidate in the Faculty of Health in School of Exercise and Nutrition Sciences at QUT. Today I'll share my PhD research on utilizing food literacy in the dietary management of people living with diabetes in Sri Lanka. Let me start with the simple example. Imagine that you have been diagnosed with diabetes. You visit a doctor or diabetes clinic and leave there with a long list of diet recommendations to maybe to reduce the rice amount in your plate, eat more fruits and vegetables, or cut back sugar food or the high fat food, and avoid takeaway or processed foods. You may even receive a meal plan that will instruct you what you should eat, how much you should eat in your breakfast, maybe lunch, dinner, or even for a snack. But once you go home, prepare food for your family, or when you go back to work, or when you are shopping for groceries. How do you put this advice? How can you translate this advice into daily practice with food? For millions of people living with diabetes in Sri Lanka, this is their daily real challenge. The issue ability to apply that advice in the real life settings. This is where food literacy comes into play, and this is where my doctoral research fits in. Let me share my research journey so far. Research has interested it was my throughout my career at the very beginning up to date. I completed my bachelor degree in 2011 and then began my career as an academic in Sri Lankan academic setting at the University of Ruhuna. There, I had few opportunities to jump directly into a PhD, but at that stage, I didn't want to do a PhD. Where's my candle? However, later, I started an MPhil research degree in food science and technology. Over time, my growing interest in applied and impactful research led me to move from pure academic career into a research-focused role. So in 2016, I made a turn. I joined with Faculty of Medicine, University of Colombo. There I played a dual role as a research dietitian and as an international research project administrator. That's where I would say that's the place where I was reborn. I had an opportunity to involve with few groundbreaking multinational research projects such as Global Health Research Unit Project, iHealth T2D project, and the main collaborator of those projects were the Imperial College UK. And we had many other collaborators from India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Singapore, and NIHR UK and European Union were the main funders for those projects. Even I involved in developing a food atlas for Sri Lanka. You may not aware that we have a food atlas for Sri Lanka. And even I had a chance to involve with the development of food exchange atlas for Sri Lanka as well. There were a lot of PhD opportunities within those projects themselves. But even at that stage, I didn't want to do a PhD. I just want to do research, work with people in the community, and enjoy with my life, with my family. However, later at one stage, this research interest directed me to do a PhD that happened in 2024. Let me share how that happened. During my tenure at the University of Colombo Faculty of Medicine, I had an opportunity to work closely with people living with those chronic conditions, I would say, like diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, such as chronic conditions. And I became increasingly aware when I was working with those people all the time. I was increasingly aware about the gap between what is recommended for their diet by the clinician, clinically, what are the dietary guidelines says for them to recommend, and what is actually possible within their everyday life. There's a big gap between the people are struggling to follow these dietary advices. Then I started to find a solution. I explored the literature, what other countries were doing to describe this missing part. I understood there's a missing part. Still it's going on. Then I became with food literacy. I found the concept of food literacy, and I saw its possible role in supporting our people living with diabetes. However, when I examined the literature, I found very limited clinical evidence with food literacy. It's still at the conceptualization stage. I found only few definitions and conceptualizations. Then what I did was, I wrote to one of the researchers who owned this definition, highly cited in the field. I explained my thoughts on its potential application in diabetes people in our country. It was quite interesting. Finally, that conversation brought me to a PhD, which I didn't want to do before. In 2024, I then applied successfully for a fully funded scholarship and admitted to the QUT. And that is how my research journey progressed into my current doctoral work. Let me share some facts about diabetes. I'm pretty sure we all are aware about the problem of diabetes worldwide. I think I don't need to elaborate to you about the pandemic condition we are facing with diabetes. It's more than the pandemic we had with COVID-19. Diabetes pandemic is a silent threat, I'd say. But I'd like you to consider a few eye-watering figures. Right now, 1 in 10 people worldwide is living with diabetes. Every 5 seconds, one person dies from diabetes. That means by the time I finish this slide, several lives will be lost due to diabetes. And what do you think about these figures in future? We don't know how many people will die per day because of diabetes by 2030, by 2040. But what we know is, according to the predictions of the International Diabetes Federation, diabetes prevalence is set to rise dramatically, and is the associated cost and challenges with the managing complications associated with diabetes will be staggered in parallel. Already, Sri Lanka has been identified as a hotspot for this diabetes pandemic. Then the question is, will our country be able to afford this pandemic of chronic diseases, including diabetes? There are many other chronic conditions going on with our people. That's the main issue we are thinking of as researchers. Why such a big trend in prevalence of diabetes in recent decades? Think about what happened over the years. A mother who cooked fiber-rich meals at home centered around family chores now rushes between work and family. People are relying more on ready-to-eat meals, fast foods, processed foods. A father who wanted to eat home-cooked meal now choose takeaway foods because they are rushing with their work. They have limited time because of their work. They eat more energy-dense foods and beverages, but still their lifestyle leading to a sedentary lifestyle compared to past. Our food environments have changed. but we didn't improve our capabilities to navigate through this change in food environments. That's the problem. But for people living with diabetes or any other chronic condition, this condition is more challenging because managing diabetes is a lifelong commitment with them with no time off. Now that's clear where my research sits. It sits at the intersection of food literacy, diabetes, and the Sri Lankan context. Initially, I thought developing a food literacy program for people living with diabetes in Sri Lanka would provide a solution for this problem. But I thought about the developing a program because most of the researchers, including in our country, were developing a lifestyle or education program, implement it in the research context, and for 3 or 6 months within their time frame, and evaluate its effectiveness of the dietary outcomes or other clinical outcomes, and they interpret whether it's effective or not. But my problem was, after the intervention, what happened? Will our people still able to continue that lifestyle that they learn from within the education programs? Whether it is still happening in their lifestyle? I realized most of the programs, people dropped their behaviors after the research program. But when we are implementing a program with food literacy, especially it's a niche area there with limited clinical evidence, we also found many challenges. How we can measure this, how we can measure food literacy. Even in South Asia, we don't have any measure to measure the food literacy of our South Asian people. It hasn't been applied in the clinical settings. So then we thought about involving the people who really face the problem. We wanted to involve the people living with type 2 diabetes and the clinicians, healthcare professionals, to get together and find a solution for them, their problem. Then what we did was we implemented a co-design research program. We established a co-design research team, including people living with diabetes and the healthcare professionals in Sri Lanka. They got together and they're trying to design a program that is appropriate for their lifestyle and the clinical settings in Sri Lanka. During that co-designing work, what we understood so far is issue is clearly not only whether people know what to eat. The issue is whether the advice they received is practical, realistic, or manageable within their real life scenarios. People talked about a range of barriers to follow dietary advices. Then what we also understood the lack of consistency in the dietary advice they receive. When they go to the clinic, they get a kind of advice there. When they go to another doctor, they receive another kind of different types of advice. When they watch TV program, it's a different story there. In Facebook, when it comes to YouTube videos, there are many people promoting different kinds of advices. This is not only happening in Sri Lanka, but also around the world. So we understood our people are still struggling in deciding what advice is correct, deciding what to eat, what to follow, what should we do. This is another type of problem with our people. Another one important observation from the practice is healthcare professionals, they acknowledge, they know the problem. Everyone knows about this problem. It is not a new thing, but they accept, they acknowledge, the healthcare professionals in our team acknowledge, we agree that the advice we deliver to people is not practical for most of the time, they are not realistic. But realities in the clinical settings, they are overcrowded clinics. Within the limited time period we can allocate for a person, for it, we have very limited facilities or the limited time to customize or personalize their advice, because sometimes dietary advice for a person who work for 24 hours is not right for the same advice that we deliver for a person in a household without any job. So people need the personalized advice for their personal context. This is not about a problem of healthcare professionals. We are not blaming on the healthcare professionals, but it shows that the system needs better ways of understanding of personal context of people, effective mechanism to understand the problems with people within very limited time, and deciding on how the healthcare professional can support people to manage their food in their real world living. Now, before I finish, I would like to open this work to you all. At this point, I would like to emphasize that this work tried by the people in our country, they are trying to find a solution for their problem. I genuinely value thoughts, ideas, and lived experiences related to a solution. If you have worked with people living with diabetes, if you have any experiences, maybe in your family or any other relative, maybe your friend, if you have seen any challenges in the dietary management in healthcare settings, in a clinical settings, or if you or your family members have any experiences related to food or any other chronic disease, may not be specific to diabetes, those perspectives are highly valuable. Your ideas can strengthen, you can help to strengthen both this study and the future work in this area. I would be very interested to hear from you. If you think this would be the solution, please tell me. For example, if you think a mobile app, a web-based tool, a booklet, prepare AI tool, this will help to provide a proper advice for our people. Tell us what you suggest that will work for our people. And also, I would like to share my broad research interest, including nutrition, diet-related problems, food literacy, lifestyle programs, or any other chronic disease, obesity, or other related conditions. So this invitation is broader than my PhD alone. If you have seen a problem, experienced a challenge, or believe there's a better way change should happen, I'd be very happy to talk. This conversation can help identify new research opportunities, develop solutions appropriate for our conditions, or if you have any PhD dreams, any other career goals, don't hesitate. Reach out to us. We are a multidisciplinary team. We can work together. And thank you very much for your attention. I'm grateful for the opportunity to share my work with you today. I'd be very pleased to continue the conversation and welcome any questions, suggestions, or opportunities to collaborate. Thank you.
Thank you, Mano. Your presentation is wholesome and it's very lively, and I like the way you explained your journey, articulated your work, and one diagram I really like, that option diagram, right? Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. And everyone, so we have 5 to 10 minutes Q&A time. You can ask anything from Manoja now. Even you can chat to her. You can use the Google link we have provided. Yeah, mention your question. Even you can raise your hand and now ask anything from Mano. We have 5 to 10 minutes. Any questions?
probably I'm hi Damit Manoj. It's really nice presentation, and I really like it, and I think it's really important for Sri Lankan people because of the people who are experiencing the diabetes today. I think there are lots of people, and I would like to give some positive feedback. I hope it helps. Probably you might aware that a lot of European countries are regulating the content of sugar that could add to the certain type of food, and probably is an area that you could include into the research. And I believe Sri Lankan government and the industry should work together and come up with the plan for the amount of sugar they are adding to the food, like drinks. Especially I live in UK more than 15-20 years. When I come to Sri Lanka, if I try to drink some drinks, I can't really drink because it's too much sugar. Hope that might help you to expand
Yeah,
the
thank
research.
you. Yeah, thank you so much, Samita. It's really good idea, and yeah, as a country, all the policy level people, government level people, they have to come into they have to work together to find the implementing these policies. And food industry people, even there are so much food industries in our country, and the food scientists all have to come together into a single stage. Yeah, I really appreciate your thoughts about it. And yeah, Damita,
So
we will
don't we
think
have
about it.
sugar level indicators in our
Yeah,
manuals?
already we in Sri Lanka we have a traffic light, the color system for the sugar beverages. The thing is, sometimes people not aware, although people aware, with the at the time, whether when they feel thirsty or when they wanted to have a ready to serve snack at the time, people don't consider about what the label says. They
will consume.
They will consume regardless of there are a lot of barriers. Sometimes our people don't have food label reading literacy. This also comes up with the food literacy. The people should have we have to increase the food label reading ability, such kind of things. Other than that, policy level that I totally agree with the idea. It's a more broad solution, but it is possible. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Damita. Any other questions? Any other comments, questions? Okay. Sasini, who raised the hand?
Shanaga.
Hi.
Hi. I'm actually what the Malaka's presentation. So it's really good. I'm actually this is not quite a question. This something like a comment. So it's the research is really valid question in Sri Lanka because I actually experienced today also. I went to the market and some the local person is came and asking the drink, just a drink. Mudala, it is something to can I have a drink? So Mudala is providing some uh, I can't say pronounce the bad name. So some not good level of the drink is not really good, not good. So what happened is the person is give to their daughter and son. So we need something like I think we need something like uh, mechanism to I mean before uh, diabetics happen, we need to something people know about this. So this is really good uh, uh, research.
Thank you so much, Shanika. Yeah, it's a this problem is not only happening with the diabetes people. If we could educate our people or give the as a country or as an the education level, I mean the school level education, if we could include food literacy as a subject for our people at the very young age before developing these chronic diseases or even at the pre-diabetes conditions, that is really important. It's a long-term plan, but yeah, we are still trying to implement that, apply that food literacy into these chronic conditions, understand how food literacy can apply in the dietary management of these chronic conditions, how we can improve the people's lifestyle with food literacy. Actually, we also thinking about if we could have we could develop a program for our people in a way that we can educate them in advance or develop a curriculum level thing for the school education as a subject. That's really important to mitigate the pandemic conditions of these. I don't like to say it's not a disease, but it's a living condition. That's why I all the time use the people living with diabetes. They are not patients, but it's really important to control the chronic conditions with these people if we educate them at the very young age. Yeah, Shanika, it's the challenge for each and every person in our country, especially.
So, Manu, don't we have any modules added for even in new curriculum? So you can write to the National Education Institute, right? And propose
Yeah.
them to consider adding a
Yeah,
chapter.
yeah, Nadisha. Recently, I have heard a professor. There's a research team at the YMB University.
Yeah.
They are trying to implement a food literacy curriculum. They're trying to develop the curriculum and incorporate it into the current syllabus education in Sri Lanka. They are doing some the basic discussions regarding with that. They are aware about. They already know about the importance of adding food literacy into the school education. Yeah, let's see what's going on with
What
them.
about we email them? So you email them and let us know how it's going. Is it possible for you to email them and ask the progress of their work?
Yeah, I'm just waiting at this stage. I'm not trying to reach them out. I'm just looking at what's going on with them.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm just observing what's going on with them and how their progress is. If it is not happening at their end, I'll initiate with the responsible people how we can to incorporate this into the primary education with our people, the student school education.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you have any questions, please use the Google document link. And you also can directly email to Manoja and help or contribute for her research. And okay, we will invite Vindula Kumaranayaka to present his work. Actually, Vindula is helping my research. Vindula, please, explain your background. Where are you from? What did you study? And a little background, and then please start presenting this work.
Okay, okay, sure. Thank you, Nadisha. Okay. So I studied mathematics at the University of Colombo, and then first I studied for a matrice called Master One in France, focused on mathematical physics. And then I found at the same time I found another interesting master's degree offered in Germany that, okay, it's kind of a long story that I had a partially funded offer from the University of Cambridge, and then I wrote to the professor and some people in the group, and they said like one of the professors studying on the field I need to focus on is going to Germany, and he's starting a group there and it's going to be well funded and everything. So then I applied to this university and I got in with a scholarship. So I went there and I studied certain specialized courses and I did my master's thesis under the professor I wanted to work with, focusing on certain type of equations that govern the behavior of classical black holes. So that's kind of I think, a brief introduction. And yes, so Nadisha Akka wanted me to help me with a project on the part of mathematical modeling. I mean, my background is mostly pure mathematics, which is very abstract and not very much connected to applications. But I thought that I would take this as an opportunity for me to involve in something more practical. So I accepted the the idea of developing something, and um, I can present it like what I have done so far. So shall I start? Sorry. Okay. What Nadishaka has been working on is this the smart drains, as famously known. So now she suggested that we need to find like a point of intervention. I will explain these terms further, where that we can send a notification where we can do certain cleaning on the grating that we have. So she wanted me to come up with a mathematical formulation, and she has a basic sketch on that. So she forwarded it to me. I will present this part first. So that this is like how do I say it? Um, what is, I think, in the existing system is like some sort of a scheduled cleaning. So and then Nadisha could develop something that is predictive and like on demand. Like once it is the grating is clogged up to a certain percentage, that will give us a notification. So the system measures something called the clogging factor. Um, and so it will depend on the forecast rainfall and everything. So the question that the mathematical model has to predict is that when is the drain close enough to block everything, and like not everything, but it will block considerable amount of the grating. So as I said, like we need to define something called the point of intervention. So, for example, like if only very light rain is expected, we don't have to really worry much about cleaning the blockage. And if there is a heavy rain, there will be more leaves and plastics collected on the grating, and so therefore we will need to clean it sooner. So this this threshold is dynamic. It depends on how much rainfall is coming, and we just need to clean it before things go wrong. So this is the idea. And so I mean, this is a picture of like a usual grating, and you can see like part of this is blocked with some leaves. So these are like we will just consider this as percentage that are blocked, and the certain type of sensors will measure how much will be blocked. And I mean, I'm considering that part as a black box to me. So I will introduce certain symbols because we will need them, and what I'm trying to do is a mathematical formulation, so we will definitely need symbols. So there's something called the clogging factor. So it's like, well, let's say you have 70% blocked. That means the clogging factor is 0.7. So it's always between 0 and 1. It's like nothing blocked at all. It's 0. It's if everything's blocked, then it's 1. And if halfway blocked, let's say it's 0.5. And then there is the forecast rainfall intensity. It's the height of the rainfall per square meter or something. What is the unit? Yeah, I don't remember the unit now, but it's like, we measure the rainfall by how tall the amount of water collected. And then we have this intrinsic, like designed rainfall capacity that the drain can afford to handle. And there's something called the safety factor, which is again some sort of a constant value for me. And then there's a point of intervention at certain moment that we will have to clean the clogging. And then there's Q design, which is the hydraulic capacity of the clean drain, and there's the effective capacity, which is like once it is halfway clogged, like set up to some amount, when it's clogged, it is we take Q F to be the effective capacity. And then in the basic sketch, the idea proposed was like we have the safety factor, which is multiplied by the rainfall intensity, which is forecasted, and when we divide it by the design, um, the amount of rainfall that the drain can bear through. And so when we remove this from 1, there's only like the full amount, that the full blockage, there's a small amount that remains for the safety. And therefore we need to take this decision once the clogging factor is larger than this point of intervention. So I mean, there are certain other ways we can write this mathematically, relating the certain quantities that I have added for the completion of the presentation. If anybody is interested in these mathematical formulations, please go ahead and ask me. So then what from here onwards, I'm going to explain that what are my suggestions in this mathematical formulation. So in the case of the initial model that we have this term 1 minus CF. This means that if you have 40% blocked, then we still have 60% of capacity left. So there's a little, I mean, for me, it feels like a little problem because I have seen in some places, I think even if it's 40% blocked, I mean, this could be actually taking a lot more capacity than we expect. Like the 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 amount of capacity that's left to function is less than we expect. For example, like as mentioned, there are like leaves, and if there's plastic or some things that form these mats, and these leaves, their configuration, they could rotate at some point, and they could just change into some like they could just block more, right? And there are the problem is like the remaining capacity could be smaller and the capacity drop can be faster. So my idea is to um, replace this by some certain of non-linearity. As here, I mean, this factor of non-linearity is something that I have not determined yet. I mean, for example, we can put certain values and look at it, and maybe we have to look at certain data in order to determine what would be the best. So instead of just 1 minus the clogging factor, we will replace it by 1 minus clogging factor to the power alpha. When alpha is 1, it gives us the initial model, the linear model, and once for example, the clogging mat is, say, if it's thicker and if there's more chance of blocking the grating, I thought it would be faster. So I'm considering of making this model a little bit non-linear. So this is I added a little table so we can compare that what's going to happen in the previous case and in my proposition. In this case, I have taken alpha to be 2, but you can take like any value, I mean, even decimal values or anything. So for example, if your clogging factor, if it's 20% blocked, it means that you still, in the linear case, you are still left with 80%. But if this nonlinear factor is 2, if we find out it to be 2, then we are only left with 64% of capacity. So for
Indula,
example, yeah.
one question I have. Okay, so this nonlinear factor always depend on the behavior of the location.
Yes, it could depend on the location and probably the configuration of the leaf mat.
Okay,
I
configuration.
mean,
Okay.
it's nice we can determine this nonlinear factor depending on certain experimental results. If there
Yeah.
are anything available, I mean, we can discuss it, I think, further.
Okay, we can come up with some pre-assume factors like activities, human activities, magnitude of the human activities, and the geography of the location, and the magnitude of the agglomeration. Agglomeration means complexity of the location. Okay,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, I think that would be very much on
Thanks for considering this, right? This nonlinear factor thing. So
Okay,
actually, it
so
added value to the research. So yeah, now
yeah,
we have a point.
okay. The problem is I still don't know like what is the perfect alpha value that would match. Maybe it would change from drain to drain.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know. It maybe it just complicates things, but we can just consider it for a moment.
yeah.
And so yes, this is what I wanted to present the mainly, and there's another little idea that okay, so I wanted these values to be time dependent. Like usually when we model something, uh, they depend on time most of the time.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe if we make it this time dependent, we can try to predict that threshold will be achieved maybe within half an hour or something, but it again depends on what kind of equations we are going to solve and what kind of data we are going to receive.
Yeah.
But I don't know if eventually it turns out that we can only predict it in 10 seconds, maybe it's not very useful.
Yeah.
We have to find out, but if it's predictable, let's say this is going to reach the threshold value maybe in half an hour or something, maybe it's going to be useful. So I thought like maybe we will look at this as like time dependent variables. This is just the alpha factor I added and the same equations just with alpha. Um, and then yes, once we consider this, once we consider that these are time dependent variables, we have like another equation. Once we have this equation, we have this something called the rate of the debris accumulation, which is equal to the rate of change of the clogging factor. So these are like certain ideas that I have been thinking about, but I'm not sure how practical it is to consider these things and if it changes the existing model significantly or not. It's, I think, for us to find out in the upcoming future. And yes, so these are the ideas I wanted to present about the initial model that Nadishaka forwarded to me. So we are still doing this real-time sensing and it is still forecast aware. And yeah, so we can get rid of the scheduled cleaning and it should be sooner or later depending on what kind of rain forecast is there.
Okay,
So
Bindu,
so I tried to add a mathematical formulation and as I mentioned, a nonlinear factor, and maybe if we can even predict the threshold maybe a little bit earlier. So yeah, this is the conclusion page, and if you have questions, we can talk about it.
Thank you very much. Thank you for helping me. Okay, my biggest question is grading part is done. So I'm okay with this. Thanks for this. And we have another important aspect in street inlets, that is the real inlet. So in hydraulics design, the hydraulics engineers, they think that the street inlet itself will behave in full design capacity, but it is not, because it is easily getting foreign objects and get clogged, right? So we need to think about, we need to develop another part B of this mathematical model on what will happen when the real inlet get clogged.
Okay.
Right?
See.
Our IoT system will generate two notifications. One is when the upper top part, the grating is getting clogged. So you have done, you have sorted out it. Then we need to develop another notification procedure for inlet clogging. What happens when the bottom part of the inlet get clogged with the foreign objects? Okay, we can discuss this maybe tomorrow.
Yeah,
Okay. Give you a call.
we can discuss it definitely. Yeah, I think adjusting the model to the inlet drain. I think it's I need to look at the configuration of things, but I think it will work out.
Okay. Okay. We can allow 2 minutes question if anyone has anything. Yes, Supun, na po, Supun.
Thank you very much,
He's an
Vindula.
expert of this area. Yes.
Like it's a very clear presentation about what you are doing, and it's very really interesting. And regarding that, I actually think that non-linear behavior it makes more sense, obviously. And regarding the alpha factor, I think it could be impacted by several factors. So main thing is could be the land use pattern.
Yeah.
And other thing is seasonal variation. So and intensity of rainfall. And I think since we don't have any experimental results related to this, maybe we could try to validate this using some literature data, and maybe we can get some like possible range for the alpha values. That's what came into my mind. Yeah.
Yeah, that's thank you for the appreciation, and yeah, we can consider these things. I think, of course, I do not know about the physical constraints that actually causing this, but I was just thinking that it would make things more accurate from what I have seen. Yeah, thank you so much.
We can arrange another focus group meeting with Supun, Edward, and you, I, Madhusha, because Supun's background is hydrology and hydraulics. He's a civil engineer. He has worked for National Water Supply and Drainage Board, and now doing his PhD. Actually, he's finished at Deakin University, the Supun? RMIT?
Swinburne University.
Swinburne. Okay. Thank you very much, Vindula. Okay, any more questions? Yeah, we can allow another question. No questions. Thank you very much, Vindula and everyone. So Vindula is a mathematician. He has been selected for, I think he qualified to study engineering in Sri Lanka, but since his passion is mathematics, so he started doing his mathematics bachelor's at Colombo University.
Yes.
A lot. Passionate researcher. Okay, Susani. Now, yeah, floor is open for Susani. Susani is from RMIT University and she's also a PhD candidate.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Akka. I'm from Swinburne University here.
Swinburne University.
Yeah, hello everyone. I'm Susanna Dayananda. I'm gonna share my presentation. Can you see my slides?
Yes, it is visible.
Yeah, so today in my presentation, I'm going to do two parts. First one is part one is my academic journey. So I'm Susani Dayananda. Currently I'm a PhD candidate in Swinburne University of Technology. So my journey started from Sri Lanka. I completed my bachelor's degree in civil engineering at University of Peradeniya, and during my bachelor's degree, I was used to do different extra activities. Sometimes I was an organizing committee member, sometimes I was a model, and sometimes I was a photographer. With that, all these activities, I believe that improved my skills, and those are unforgettable memories in my life. And after that, I continued my career in the same university. My master's, I did it in environmental and water engineering. During that time, I have participated in different conferences to present my research findings, and I represented Sri Lanka as a graduate student. There was a program in Shenzhen, China. I was lucky enough to present there and share knowledge and gain knowledge from 6 countries, 3 countries from Europe and 3 countries from Asia. That was a very great opportunity I had in my academic life. And after that, I started preparation for my PhD. So I did PTE, but if there are anyone who is trying to pursue a PhD in USA or Japan, somewhere there are different requirements like GRE, IELTS. So better you do those things, find those things and do. And meantime, I prepared my documents to find a supervisor for me. And after that, here I'm in Australia as a PhD candidate in Swinburne University of Technology Hawthorne campus. So I will share how did I apply for PhD opportunities. Actually, first of all, I prepared an Excel sheet for supervisor. It's like I organized my PhD applications systematically by preparing this Excel sheet to track universities, supervisor details, and communication status. And for each and every application, I attach my academic transcripts, my statement of purpose, and my CV. And also, I did slight changes in my emails and SOPs according to the university and the supervisors. So this is the first email I sent to my current supervisor, Professor Dr. Iqbal Hussain. So I wrote all the details in my email, and there were I tried around 12 supervisors in different universities in Australia, University of Melbourne, RMIT, KBUT. So fail. After that, then I was lucky enough at the end, so my target was achieved. I have put a screenshot of my offer letter, which I got from Swinburne University. So we all have different timelines. So if you are trying to start a PhD to find a supervisor, be positive and be patient. You're gonna get your opportunity. So this is the end of my first part of my presentation. Second part of my presentation is focusing my current research. I started January this year, January 2026. So it's I'm in the initial stage of my research. So my research is innovative strategies for microplastics removal from urban stormwater with integrated in situ detection. Like moving into the research background, these microplastic particles are plastic particles. Those are less than 5 millimeter in size. There are two main types of microplastic particles: primary microplastics and secondary microplastic particles. These primary microplastics are producing as microplastic particles to use in personal care products and some industries, and these secondary microplastic particles are occurring due to the biological, physical, chemical degradation of these larger plastic particles. So the most abundant microplastic particle types are polyethylene and polypropylene, and there are different shapes and colors of microplastic particles. These microplastic particles are transporting with wind or ocean currents, and also these freshwater bodies, stormwater, and the things. So my focus is on microplastic particles in stormwater. So I'm going to discuss why we have to consider these microplastic particles, because they are not only pollutants themselves, but they also act as carriers or vectors for other contaminants due to their larger surface areas. They can absorb toxic pollutants and heavy metals like zinc, copper, and lead. And also these contaminated microplastic particles can transport into or can enter into our food chain. Then this becomes a significant health risk. If I'm discussing this issue more seriously, these microplastics are everywhere. We are using these plastic particles, like we use HDB like shampoo bottles. I would say these water bottles we use every day in our lives. So these microplastic particles are sometimes is visible, sometimes it's not visible. So there are a lot of problems with these microplastic particles. A recent study found that the amount of microplastics in our brain is about the same as a plastic spoon, or we can say about same as 7 pen caps. So there's a lot of uncertainties in these estimations, but we know that these microplastic particles are, this plastic are not biodegradable. They are getting smaller and smaller in environment. And a recent study done by New Mexico University has proven that these microplastic particles in our human brain are increasing with time. They have shown from 2016 to 2024, there's a 50% increment of microplastic particles in human brain. So, and also they have mentioned that people who got dementia have more microplastic particles in their brain. So this is a serious issue. These microplastic particles deserves more attention in today's world. So in my research, I am focusing on 4 main areas: microplastics in situ detection, and abundance and characteristics of characterization of microplastic particles, microplastic particles removal from stormwater by using these water-sensitive urban design approaches. Basically, I'm focusing on bioretention systems, and also the life cycle assessment of microplastic particles. So, in my research, I developed my problem statement as microplastics are very significant considering this environmental and health risk. There are many consequences due to microplastic particles, as I mentioned in my background knowledge sharing. And my solution is this: developing an integrated framework combining in situ detection and enhance removal technologies, and also meantime using life cycle assessment to manage these microplastic particles effectively and sustainable in a sustainable manner. So I have developed my aim and objectives of my study. I'm not gonna repeat again and again these things. The significance of my research is my target is to develop an improved in situ detection method and a bioretention cell system focusing on removal of microplastic particles. There are the significance can be discussed in environmental, social, and economic perspectives. In the environmental perspectives, it can help to reduce the microplastics pollution. It improves the water quality, protecting the ecosystems, and reduce these contaminants transportation via microplastic particles. And when it comes to the social perspectives, it reduces the human exposure. Say we can have safe drinking water. So this improves the public health and awareness, and also helps to supports to sustainable urban living. When it comes to the economic perspectives, we can have cost-effective treatment solutions, long-term environmental remediation cost we can reduce, and it supports to water-sensitive urban design implementations in a more effective way, and also it informs efficient infrastructure investments can be done by getting these knowledge and support. So current challenges in my study are there are studies like prototype studies have done in China to detect microplastics in situ by using optical sensing using polarized light scattering, but those methods got challenges like signal interference, difficulty in distinguishing microplastics with other pollutants and other suspended solids like that, and the calibration and accuracy challenges are there. When it comes to the bioretention cell systems, these engineered soil can be clogged, and these bioretention cell systems are not developed focusing on these microplastic particles. So how to improve this engineering soil, and there are possibilities of like it can be optimized, the engineering soil media can be optimized. So these are the challenges. So this is the end of my presentation, and I'm kindly requesting your ideas and comments and questions are welcome to be discussed, because that will help me a lot for my study.
Thank you, Susani. Very informative presentation. And yeah, thank you for enlightening us. Thank you. This is very valuable, timely, and very informative.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you so much.
Now this is the Q&A time, and thank you very much for describing us your journey. That is wonderful.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, now we have time 5 to 10 minutes for Q&A. You can ask anything from Susani and others as well. You're free to ask anything. Please ask questions, and kindly review her work. You can comment her work. Yeah. Super. Good. Thank you.
Susani, I think since like you are also focusing about the bioretention systems, and so actually they are not designed targeting to remove microplastics. So their main target is nutrients and water suspended solids.
Yeah.
So since like microplastics are lightweight and they tend to float
Yes.
the water, so I think it could be challenging, and you might have to think about engineered media which has higher adsorption capacity.
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, just consider that as well. That's
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Hello.
Hi. Yes.
Hi. So
Yeah.
Natishakti and Susani.
Yeah.
This is the first time I'm joining this discussion, and I just applied for the applied to be a participant of this group, and this is the first day I'm joining. So thank you, Susani, for your and very informative description, and the way you have applied for this opportunity. Actually, it's very helpful for the new participants, I guess, new applicants for the opportunities, that kind of opportunities. So actually, in my master's study, I'm planning to introduce a kind of a biodegradable packaging material which is made of a polymer actually using an additive, specific additive. So this is not a question actually, it's just a comment. Where I was wondering whether that kind of application can increase this risk, because during the biodegradation, the biodegradation process naturally occurring in the presence of microorganisms, and there are commercial setups who are marketing those kind of solutions for the industries. Basically, a lot of industries are using packaging materials made of polymer materials, like as you very correctly said, polyethylene, polypropylene are the most widely available, and that kind of stuffs are available. So there are certain additives which are made of chemical components which can convert the conventional polymer materials into biodegradable stage. So in that process, there may be a increased risk of microplastic releasing into the stormwater and soil as well. Soil, any kind of water streams and soil.
Yes.
So,
And to the air as well. Yeah. Sometimes,
yeah.
like with wind, microplastic particles, small particles, transport, like, yeah.
So your research will be a good eye opening for that kind of applications. They are commercially available, and a lot of industries are making money with this kind of inventions. I don't know whether they are effective or not, and how to what extent the developed countries are using those technologies. Anyway, in Sri Lanka, we don't available that kind of technology right now, and industries are not using at the moment because of the high cost. Basically, cost is critical factor for those kind of things. So appreciate your work on this subject.
Thank
This
you so
topic.
much. Yeah.
That's all my comment. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's really very well.
Thank you, Feksha. Any other questions? Any questions? Feksha. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi. Today, the first time I joined this session. Actually, I am really interested about Susanna's work because I also conduct research on microplastic for my undergraduate research. I studied microplastic pollution in Attanagalu River. So actually, my work is still under reviewing condition. um, because of actually I have some sort of knowledge in microplastics. However, because of your presentation, I get to aware about the in situ detection method and the bioremediation. Now I am in the stage of applying for PhDs. Can you suggest me a area that I can develop a research proposal relating to microplastics?
Yeah, that research proposals actually this in situ detection is there are several studies. They are also not finalized. They are study like there are studies using IoT for microplastic detection because the available detection methods like FTIR, Raman spectroscopy, we cannot bring those large and expensive heavy machines to the sites. So we have to we can measure temperature, pH, those things we can measure easily. We need a method to identify at least if there's a method to say yes there are microplastic particles in that water. It will be a good proposal, I believe. When I'm applying for my PhD, I developed my proposal regarding these microplastics particles detection and also this removal. So and I believe that will be a good point for you to prepare your proposal. I can share my findings like the papers with you. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, so you two can exchange your email addresses and
Yeah.
communicate with each other.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I thought. Yes, I can.
Yeah, thank you so much. And
Yeah.
I will send my email to you. Thank you.
Yeah, please, yes, please.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Iresha. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, any other questions? It's almost 1 a.m. for us, for Manoja and myself, and 2 a.m. for Supun. Yes. Everyone, do you have any question? So we can accommodate one more question, then we will close the discussion for the day. One last question, please. Okay, no questions. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining, listening, and commenting. We will share the meeting recordings and meeting minutes using the common email thread. And Manu, we can upload this meeting recordings to YouTube, right?
Okay, then I'll share the recording with you.
Okay, and I'll upload to YouTube and share the common YouTube link. So then it's easy for anyone to access the files. And okay, I have some photographs of the sessions as well. I'll share that through email. Thank you very much, everyone, for your time, for your concerns, and special thanks to Manoja, Vindula, and Susani for your presentations and great insights. And yeah, have a great weekend and see you next week.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a,
Thank
have a
you.
great weekend.
Thank you.
Bye.